start. So good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. It's great to see so many faces. Welcome to the Women in Transport breakfast briefing. It's Interchange Day 2. Hope everyone's been enjoying the conference so far. Thanks, Jenny. So my name is Joanna. I'm the Northwest Regional Lead for Women in Transport, and we're a non-for-profit membership-based organisation whose mission is to empower women working in the industry to reach their full potential. We believe that by working together as an industry, that's how we're going to make the changes necessary to bring about a stronger, more inclusive and diverse sector that supports UK growth. And it is to that end that we're delighted to be joined by Turner & Townsend this morning. I'm joined by Santana Dean, who is the Associate Director, Programme Advisory at Turner & Townsend. Over to you, Santana.
Thanks, Joanna, and good morning, everyone. Appreciate everyone being here bright and early to kick off day 2 of Interchange. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today and also for Turner & Townsend to be collaborating on this morning's event. And it's a little bit extra special for me because this is my hometown of Manchester, so it's lovely to be here. So we've got a great session lined up for you this morning. We are joined by some fantastic guest speakers who are really delivering transformational programmes across their regions and in some cases, multiple regions. So as we all know, we know that transport is much more from getting people from A to B. It gives us the opportunity to connect people to jobs, education, services, and connect communities. So I'm sure we're going to be hearing a little bit more about that today. So in terms of our event today, our speakers are going to give an insight in terms of our topic for today, leaving legacy. How regional transport programmes can shape skills, communities, and opportunities. So let's get into it, Joanna. Who do we have today?
Yeah, we've got some great representatives from some combined authorities in the north and also some key projects in the north as well. So thank you all very much for joining us today. We've got Rochelle Forsyth Ward over on the end there, Assistant Director of Transport Policy from North East Combined Authority. And we've got Fiona Kane next to her on our Programme Integration Officer from TransPennine Route Upgrade. Saima Alavi, who is the Head of Public Affairs and Engagement for Mass Transit at West Yorkshire Combined Authority. Alison Chu, Interim Director of Bus at TfGM. And next to me here is Gary Evans, Director of Customer and Operations at Liverpool City Region Combined Authority. So each of them is going to give you an overview of how their regional transport schemes are supporting skills, communities and opportunities in the north. Shall we get started, Santana?
Yes, let's. So I'm going to go to my left today and I'm going to start with Rochelle from North East Combined Authority.
Thank you, and thank you very much for the invite along this morning. So as Santana mentioned, transport is a means to an end. It helps people to get to opportunities, whether that be jobs, education, essential services or healthcare, and we want to support them to do that. Currently in the North East, 31% of our residents are at risk of transport-related social exclusion. That's compared to 21% of residents in the north of England. And what we want to do at the North East Combined Authority is address that and improve access to opportunity for all of our residents and reduce transport-related social exclusion. We have got a North East Local Transport Plan, and that sets out the aim to create a green integrated transport network that works for all. And as part of achieving that aim, we will be addressing transport-related social exclusion. So one of our local transport plan's key strategic themes is to promote inclusive economic growth across the North East, helping our residents access opportunity, boost job creation, and overcome inequality. So this morning, I just want to talk you through a few of our key projects that we're delivering to try and address transport-related social exclusion. So the first one is termed Mayor's Fares, and this is a fare offer on public transport to make fares more affordable for our residents. So we have introduced a range of Mayor's Fares on bus. That includes a cap of £2.50 for single bus journeys and a £1 cap for single journeys made by people under the age of 22. That's been incredibly successful, with over 81 million tickets sold to date, and that's of January this year. so that number will now be even higher, which is fantastic news. I've got more good news for North East residents, because from April this year, we'll be introducing the £2.50 cap on our Tyne and Wear Metro, which is our local rail service. And it will also cover our train services on the Northumberland line. And then just looking at bus services in general, we are using our bus service improvement plan funding to maintain a number of bus services across the region, which would otherwise have been withdrawn. And we know that these services are a lifeline to many of our residents, so it's great news that they're able to continue. We're also carrying out work to expand the reach of our public transport network, and what we're doing with that is looking to extend our Metro Light Rail service to Washington, which is currently the 4th largest town in the UK without access to rail network. Once it's operational, Metro to Washington will generate at least 90 million a year in economic benefits for the North East. It'll support around 70,000 residents in Washington in accessing jobs, education and healthcare. And it will be part funded through our Transport for City Regions funding. We want to go even further, and we want to introduce a new railway line, which is termed the Leamside Line, and it's a 21-mile stretch of line. And that will improve rail access for our residents of County Durham, and it will also improve access to a number of manufacturing parks and support economic development in the region as well. And then finally, what I wanted to talk to you about is safety of women and girls, because that's a key priority for our mayor in the North East, and we're doing a lot of work to try and improve safety of women and girls. So one of the things we're doing at the moment is we've just commissioned a piece of research to go out and speak to residents of the North East and find out what the challenges and barriers are that they're facing when travelling or looking to travel around the North East region. Then what we're going to do is set up a panel of experts who will work with our supplier to go through that research and come up with a package of interventions to actually address all those barriers and challenges that have been raised through the research. We will then look to deliver the package of interventions from 2027 and then make a real difference to the safety of women and girls when travelling around the North East region. So I've given you a bit of a snapshot there of some of the key projects that are underway in the North East Combined Authority. There are many, many more, and I could talk for most of the day on that, but I appreciate we've only got 3 to 4 minutes each. But hopefully that gives you a flavour of some of the work we're doing to try and tackle transport-related social exclusion and improve access to opportunity across the North East region. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Fiona Kane, Programme Integration Director on TransPennine Route Upgrade, or TRU. What is TRU? You might have seen a lot of posters if you came in by rail this morning in your railway station. We like to describe TRU as a series of benefits. It's a whole industry programme. It's not an infrastructure programme. It brings together track, train and timetable to realise benefits for the communities it serves. That includes enhanced capacity, so more seats travelling between Manchester, Leeds, York and Huddersfield in the middle there. It improves reliability. It will shorten journey times. It will increase the freight capacity of the line. And by the electrification, it will reduce carbon dioxide emissions into the atmosphere, leaving a climate benefit legacy. But what does that mean? On a humanistic level, for me, which is where I like to pitch it, and as you may have seen the advertising, it's quite playful. What that translates into is being home for your kids of the evening. I know what difference that makes when you're a working family, when the working parent does get home 15 minutes early for dinner or bedtime. Or when it's more reliable, when they're not phoning home going, I'm stuck again. It means you can go out and take advantage of the phenomenal benefits and attractions that are in these fabulous cities that connects, but also the countryside in between. It just offers up so much more opportunity, offers up opportunity for where you take your job, where you take your college placement or go to school. So that's on the kind of humanistic. That translates onto a macro level. We're unlocking housing at a development of circa 4,000 homes at Ravensthorpe, known as Dewsbury Riverside. So that's more housing for people in the north. Also job opportunities. Through development areas that TRU unlocks, there's a potential for 49 development areas with also the attendant potential for nearly 500,000 jobs. So it really is leaving a phenomenal legacy or setting up a phenomenal legacy. But what about the way it's delivered? When it's in existing infrastructure, that can be so challenging for the people who are affected by delivering this work that does entail line closures and station closures. Well, we've planned that in. The first phase of TRU was enabling diversionary routes, which means long-distance customers can stay on a train. Research shows that people do prefer to stay on a train, so 15 minutes more at the expense of not having to get on a bus makes a difference to people. And that means we're sustaining our customer base, which is so important. So we're not putting people off the railway as we develop, and that means that they're going to be willing to take advantage of those benefits at the end. And also how we engage with the communities on the route, through community fund, through interventions, improving the first and last mile approach, so connecting stations to their communities. One project to upgrade a canal towpath at Murfield, and that's benefited by both money but also volunteering hours. We have a massive workforce, and we put the volunteering time in to support those communities and deliver lasting benefits at places along the route. And then how do we deliver the works? Well, that in itself also creates opportunities. We have a 5,000 person strong workforce, of which 85% live within 40 miles of the route. We spend on local businesses. We're at, I think, 875 million pounds spent with local businesses to TRU. So that is so important to us in how we're delivering. And then on a multi-year programme, we will be going on to the next decade. Where's the workforce that delivers that? It's really important that we're developing the next generation to deliver the works. When I'm retired and living on the beach, then we need the people doing that work. So we're really investing in graduates. We've had around 200 graduates on the programme. We're at 455 apprentices. And we also support a culture of learning and growth. And again, I go back to this cross-industry, looking to GBR and how we circulate people around the industry and get the new skills and knowledge and experience they're going to need for the next phase of their careers. Our apprentices are incredible. They have this early careers professional network, supported them. We support through conferences, mentoring, and I think I can leave this saying, our future is in safe hands.
Thank you. My name is Simon. I'm representing the West Yorkshire Combined Authority, and I'm really pleased to be here today to just talk to you a little bit more about our scheme. So we've got 2.5 billion infrastructure scheme that we're wanting to deliver around mass transit. So that's connecting key corridors in West Yorkshire with a mass transit system. So we're already doing a great deal of work around improving social mobility by developing our own very own Weaver network, which is about integrating transport, right from improving our bus franchising system, improving and connecting it with our active travel and walking opportunities. But we recognise that what we do need is we need something else that's going to kind of finalise that transport system, and that's going to be mass transit for us. So whilst we're at the early stages of our scheme, where we're focusing on submitting our strategic outline case and building that evidence for mass transit, what we recognise is that it's really important to make sure that social mobility is a strategic objective, and it's baked in right through from start to finish in that scheme, and that's a real priority for us. So whilst we want to leave a legacy, we want to change lives as well along the way, and there's so many opportunities that we see through the next 10, 15, 20 years that are really going to transform the lives of the people and the communities of West Yorkshire. I think it's really important to recognise that in West Yorkshire, our mass transit scheme, it's got to be more than just about transport. Again, it's about growing the local economy and doing that through regeneration opportunities and developing skills and education opportunities for the people of the region. So in terms of kind of how we've baked that into our scheme from start to finish, in terms of pre-delivery, we recognise that right now where we are, the programme offers lots of job opportunities for, to cultivate a skilled workforce in West Yorkshire. There's opportunities to be involved in terms of the fields of transport planning, stakeholder engagement, policy, business cases, lots of opportunities for our young people and older workforce to be part of creating that legacy and creating that future. And then through to construction and delivery. So we recognise, and I think others have already spoken, it's going to create thousands of jobs for our local communities. And we're also working on an employment and skills plan. So it's really important that at this early stage, we make those connections with our FE colleges, our higher education institutes, so that they are set up to in order to educate and train our future workforce for when we go into construction. And then when we're in operation, we're going to need our young people currently now to be our future drivers of the system and to move it forward. And essentially the legacy that it will leave, especially for our first phase, which is connecting two of our major cities, Leeds and Bradford, is that it's going to create an integrated, connected labour market, which at the moment we don't have because of that lack of integration between those two cities. And really, in terms of a legacy, we'll know that we've got it right. We will know that we've achieved success, and it won't be just by us measuring like the number of passengers using our system. It's actually going to be measured by the number of lives changed and the job opportunities that are being created and the growth in the economy. So whilst we've got a long way to go, I'm really confident that the approach that we've taken is really embedded, and we're going to learn from our counterparts here, other cities that have done it as well, to see how we can continue to make sure that social mobility is the heart of everything that we do. Thank you.
Thanks. Good morning, everybody. I'm Alison Chew from Transport for Greater Manchester. It's great to see you all here in my home city of Manchester. What we've done recently, as you'll no doubt be aware in Greater Manchester, is roll out bus franchising. So we've delivered the B network. If you walk around the city on your way to and from the central complex, you'll see no doubt the yellow buses that are operating now across the city region. That in itself is a legacy. We believe that by having holistic overall control of the transport network with bus as the central tenet of that we can really then build for Greater Manchester and allow access and allow opportunity and create that legacy for people. We're already seeing really positive results. Patronage is growing, customer satisfaction is up, and people are generally giving us positive feedback about the opportunities that they're now able to access through the B network, whether that's the routes that we're now providing, the capped fares that we've got in place, or the other easy and simple ways of using the network, tap and go, we've got in place across bus and tram, and we've made it generally easier for people to travel around. Not just that though, alongside rolling out bus franchising and the B network, we're electrifying the bus fleet, and I wanted to talk for a few minutes about that. We started to roll out electric buses at the point at which we rolled out the first franchises. We introduced 50 into the first franchises, 50 into the second tranche of franchises. We've now got just under 400 operating across Greater Manchester, with plans to introduce another 200 this year in 2026, and a rolling programme then to get to 2030 and have a fully franchised electric bus fleet. That is bringing opportunity for people in terms of benefiting their quality of life and the environmental considerations, the niceness of the area in which they're living, the cleaner, kind of atmosphere and cleaner environment, supporting our clean air ambitions as well for the city region. Places with good public transport more likely to attract new residents, new workers, new jobs, so that in turn it's a sort of ongoing process that's boosting the city region. In addition to that, jobs in that industry, the programme in itself of rolling out electrification is creating jobs. We've got local construction. We've electrified about half of our large depots so far. We've got half to go, and the extensive work that's required to do that is creating jobs and creating that legacy and creating that opportunity. The final point really I'll make as well around that is this is a new technology for the region. It takes a different skill set for people to look after electric buses rather than diesel buses. So we're also supporting that upskilling, bringing new skills aligned to new technology into Greater Manchester and allowing people to educate themselves and have other opportunities, supporting training programmes and supporting a general new approach to embrace that new technology. So it's really exciting. As I say, if you do walk around the city centre, you'll no doubt see some of the free buses. They are all electric now, so you'll see those, the smaller buses that operate around the city. You'll be able to jump on one of those. You'll see what I'm talking about, and hopefully kind of sharing some of our success here in GM. Thank you.
Thank you and good morning everyone. My name's Gary Evans. I'm from Liverpool City Region Combined Authority, and what a lovely way to start the day in many ways. And a lot of hearing the colleagues this morning, all of those major programmes are common across all of our urban areas now. So mass transit schemes in Liverpool, plans for a rail expansion, and bus franchising is hot on the heels of Manchester. So really exciting news for us all. I think we can beat Manchester by saying, and I should try and do that, shouldn't I? By saying we'll be bringing our own first Mersey ferry into service this year as well. So wonderful opportunities. But I'm here to talk a little bit about a bit of the detail. So I look after the smart ticketing programme in Liverpool City Region, and we're seeking that holy grail really of that London-style transport and ticketing system that actually go a stage further than that. And there's wonderful economic and social benefits that a smart ticketing programme can bring them. We started to see some of those already on our Merseyrail rail network in the last week. We've gone live with a bank card, mobile phone, tap and go on that network, and the take-up has just been mind-blowing in many ways, just in a week. So it's absolutely fantastic. But it's the detail for me. I'm really passionate about the customer and leaving an impact and a legacy for those customers. So while you're delivering those major programmes, what can we do alongside that to make a difference for the people that we serve in many ways? And for me, I was really proud of something we did around 12 months ago. For those who face the largest barriers to social inclusion in our city regions, and working with our local authority partners, we introduced a free pass for care leavers. So for those who are age 18 to 21, 1,500 people in Liverpool City Region, and almost all of those people working with their personal advisors took up that opportunity. It was, again, an amazing step forward. So those people that face barriers into education or barriers into employment, we're able to go out there and give them a meaningful things that will help them in their journey towards their visions and their dreams. I can say 12 months on, the usual impacts that you'd expect are really powerful. So I can say, 40% of those people now use public transport much more. Well, they would, wouldn't they? 50% of them are more economically active. So really positive impacts. But the bit for me, the bit that's really telling is the human story of that. So from an employment perspective, those who use their free travel pass to access employment, 92% of those people are using it 2 to 3 times a week or more to get into employment. 16% of those users have got a new job in the last 12 months. Just think of a difference there. That's 160 people got new jobs or more. And then you go into the education side, and from an education perspective, again, you'd expect to see the usage high for people to access and training and education. But in the last year, 30% of those people accessing education have took on new courses because of that travel pass. And that's a real difference. And I'll leave you with a story to end the session today of a lovely young lady who was with us on the launch. And she'd been in foster care for a number of years, as her siblings had. And she hadn't seen many of her siblings. They were placed in different locations across the city region. And she hadn't seen many of her siblings for more than 18 months or 2 years. And she left me with a story that said, I'm great now, I can go check on my brothers and sisters and make sure that they're fine as well and I can see them. And it's leaving little legacies like that when we deliver our major programmes, my plea to you all to take away today is work with your operators and bring that little bit extra on the difference that you can make for the residents of the city region. So I'll leave you with that thought today. And if you want to know any more about that, we have a stand that I should drum up here. So please go and visit colleagues as well during the day, and they'll give you much more detail on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing, really inspiring human stories. It makes me, I'm so proud to be Northern anyway, but feel even prouder right now. So thank you very much. I feel the message is clear. You know, transport drives social mobility, investment builds skills and opportunities here, and collaboration creates a long-term legacy. It's shown that transport is more than just infrastructure, it is a platform for real transformation. So thank you all very much for sharing. Over to you, Santana. Oh, do you need a mic? Pass it down. You'll be shouting otherwise.
Amazing. Thanks, Joanne. And thank you to our lovely speakers today who have given an overview in terms of the amazing programmes that they are delivering. And I think the thing for me that really came out today is that sense of pride and excitement of these individuals who really believe in what they're doing and the impact that they can have on people, which is amazing. And I hope for those in the audience as well, there's also that sense of pride, because I assume that actually you are all playing your own role in some of these programs and the programs that you're working on that are really going to be transformational to people. So that probably wraps up our session. So thank you again to our lovely panellists today. Round of applause if I may. And thank you also to Women in Transport for this morning's event. So we've got a second part of today's event. So the second part is all around networking. So we really want to use the next half an hour for the opportunity for you to network with our panellists, but also connect to the individuals within the room. So start speaking and collaborating and sharing your lessons. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.